we got a request from city and counties and also from, local agencies. So we request information from them, then they also request information from us. So in our system, we use the LS measure, begin and end point, but they use the from and to intersections instead of LS. So what we have to do, we have to convert the LS begin point to landmark descriptions.
Okay.
So yeah, so I try to get the intersection points, but then I stuck there. I get the points intersection, but I cannot get the from and to.
Um, you mean by the from and to, you mean the from and to intersections names,
Yes.
right? Okay.
So basically, I want the from and to, that means segment. For now, I just had the point, so I want segment.
Okay.
Hmm.
Okay. And you wanted to talk about how, and really the goal is to communicate to the local agency
Right.
what's the in and end location of a given piece of road for which you want to
Hmm.
collect attribute.
Yes.
Okay. Um, all right. That's cool. Let's move on to, or so you want to hit that first, and so I'll just say right now that I'm guessing that alone could take an hour or two.
Hmm.
Although
Oh,
the other,
regarding the CRS, I think we just forget that topic because I solved that thing already, so I got it worked out already.
oh, you solved it. Great. Okay.
Yeah,
Terrific.
yeah, yeah. So we
And
just
then
focus on the Queen issue.
okay, and then what about update
Yeah.
NHS data?
Yes. This one I got an email from Rose. However, I didn't receive the data because I think the Outlook they blocked it. So
Oh,
I talked to her and she said that she sent you the list of the NHS data, right, in order to
yeah.
upload it to Arago database.
Yep.
So is that available on the Arago database right now?
Yes.
Okay, so I just go
So to be
sign in
clear,
and.
well, to let's be really clear about which Oracle database because there's a few of them floating out there.
Mhm.
Um, here, let me just send an email to all you guys.
Mhm.
Um, this is the latest info to connect to Oracle. Um, and again, like I mentioned before, Quinn,
Mhm.
this is a test version
Okay.
of of the this is a test version of the final production Oracle database. So, but it's the latest and greatest that we've got at this point.
Okay. Mhm.
And let's see. Let me go get that host string. Hopefully, I still have it on my.
Did they send you the off system or on system or both?
It's just the off system. For NHS, I believe it's just the off system.
Okay.
But you can, do a dime seg on it, and you'll be able to tell right away.
Mhm. Okay.
Um, sorry, I have to go get the host string real quick. um,
So all I have to do is just download the data, reformat it, and then just upload to the VA system, right? Do I have to do any processing the data at all?
yeah, probably.
Okay.
Um, okay, sending you guys that how to access that. So, yeah, there's a table in there called
Mhm.
NHS, and then there's also the routes table,
Mhm.
and you can dime seg NHS over routes.
Okay.
And then probably what you'll want to do is put it through the SPE engine to process the data to get it ready for upload. Um,
Okay.
I would guess the main thing you're going to have to worry about, since the data is already dime segged, the main thing I would be doing is the step where you resolve overlaps.
Mhm.
Because if you have any overlapping NHS data, it'll probably I imagine that HPMS will kick it back and say that's an error. Um, okay, so I'm going to do this. I guess Quinn, make you the presenter so we can see your screen.
Okay.
Because I need to get a better handle on what your data looks like
Mhm.
um, in order to in order to really give you a meaningful set of next steps. Oh, oops, did I make you the presenter?
Let's see. No.
There we go. Sorry,
Can you see it?
I made myself the presenter. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm sorry. Could you slow down just for a quick minute? I just want to make sure I understand what's going on here.
Okay. So I already. You want me to go from the beginning to the end, or you want the one that I already have the intersection in there?
No, it's fine. Okay,
Okay.
so I see you're connecting to an geomedia access database of off-system intersection samples. Okay.
Yes. So I just get a portion of the state highway. I mean, of the state off system. So I just get District 4, so we can test it instead of waiting for the whole state.
Yeah, smart.
Okay. So I get District 4. Let me add it in. So there's a two layer. One's the point layer, and the other one is the segment layer.
Segments from where?
Um, you see the District 4 public rails? This is
Yeah.
just a query from the off-system rail. It's
Okay.
just a query of the District 4.
Okay.
Okay, so after I had the, let me expand it. Zoom it up. So you see right here, every intersection is create a point. So displays data window. So you see the cross street columns.
Mhm.
So I able to create the cross street right at the intersection points. But let's say if the segment is from A to B, I can, make it a line, like go it from beginning of the point to the end of the point. I can't
Mhm.
do that. So I just do it in like individual point only.
I see. So how
Hmm.
did you create this table?
Okay, so first I do the LS operation, and I
Okay.
create the it's called landmarks. Where is it? Create intersection right here. But it's create L. Let me close this one. Right here. Create
Okay. All right.
intersection markers. So yeah,
Okay.
so that's it.
Okay. Um. So if I understand this correctly, do you mind giving me control of the mouse,
Yes.
just so I can?
How do I do that though?
Oh, there's a button that says Give Keyboard and Mouse on the Go to Meeting control panel.
Uh-huh. Mm, where is it? It's right here.
Honestly, I can't. None of us can see the Go to Meeting control panel on your screen. It's hidden from us.
Oh, I saw it. Screen.
Okay, so change the presenter to,
No.
or
All
share
you
share
need,
the keyboard and mouse with.
yeah, give keyboard and mouse is
Okay.
the words. All right, so I'm gonna. All right, that's me moving it around now.
Mhm.
So just so you know, if you press if you move your mouse, it'll give preference to you over me.
Okay, I'll leave it.
All right. Um, okay. So let me. So okay, my understanding is this then that. Oh darn it. Okay, so what you want to do is populate each segment of route
Mhm.
with the name of the intersecting route at any given location. So here, let me get this. So for example, if this is, I'm just gonna go away. I'm gonna turn on tooltips so we can see route names more easily. So if I hover over this, okay, this is that. This is that route. This is the route where this particular section of route begins, and this is the route where it ends, right? So what you're hoping to do is simply is add two new columns,
Mhm.
route maybe like route begin, route end, and then the route IDs that begin and end at each respective location. Is that right?
Mhm.
Okay. Um, are you sure that you didn't sound completely convincing to me?
Okay, let me explain to you what I want to do. So this is the base map of the route, right? This is the off-system route. So it covers every route in District 4.
Yeah,
Okay.
got it.
So let's say I have a sample location list, and you mean, the sample location list is not cover the whole route in District 4. It's here and there. And then the samples, it can be the combination of three continuous route. For example, it's like from um, in our route table, in our system route table, we have from 1 to 2, and then we run from 2 to 3 and 3 to 5 in the same route ID, right?
Okay.
But in our sample location, it's only run from 1 to 3. That means it covers two segments within the off-system route. Okay, so I just want to get the begin point of that segment and the end point of that segment. So it's not like individual, like segment by segment, just like District 4 route for our system.
Okay.
Do you understand what I mean? Like when I dissect my sampling location onto the District 4 off system route, the route is can be connected between a few segments
Yeah,
from
okay.
off system route. And I just want the begin point and end point of that segment only. I don't want the one in between them.
Okay, so show me the XY data.
Okay. Um, can you open the? Oh, I can control it. Okay.
Yeah.
I wonder if I add X, Y's in here.
Well, okay, so
Oh.
you said the way I understood it is that we feed in XYs
Mhm.
and you want, like, I mean, what by definition what reverse geocoding
Mhm.
is you tell the system what's your lat long,
Mhm.
and the system gives you back the name of the address or intersection at that
Right.
location.
Mhm. That's true.
So I guess, I mean, maybe I've got my assumptions wrong. If I do, just tell me. But my understanding is that basically the cities want to give you, um, well, someone somewhere has
Mhm.
XY, begin XY and end XY to
No.
define the begin and end location of a event. Okay, I'm
No,
wrong.
not. Okay, so we request the data from district. Let's say that, and I want specific location on the sampling location only. And my sampling location is start from this point and it's
Hmm.
end from here. Same route
Okay.
ID. Let's say the LS from 1 to 5. And
Okay.
when I give them the LS, they say, I don't know these location at, and I can't tell.
Hmm.
And what they want is give me the intersection right here and give me the intersection right here. And then I give you the data within this segment.
So let me chime in. So basically, they want the intersection addressing as a referencing point system instead of LS measure. So a segment go from from 1 to 5. They want what is 1, what is 5, so they can reference that to their database, their payment database or traffic database, and can extract data for us. So they want um, street informant 2 using a street name instead of LS or lat long information. And what we have now is just lat long or LS measure, and we want to convert that into a street name.
Okay. How do you know which street names? Like, how do are they going to give you the street names, or are you
So
going to give them the street names?
we giving them a street name.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Our
How do you know? How do you know which intersections are relevant, which ones aren't?
So based on our based on the lat long that we get from here, then we hoping that you can help us to convert it from lat long or from LS measure back to the crossing street.
I think what he want to know, like, where did we get that list, the sampling list from? So we query that sampling list from VA system. So VA system want to give us the sampling list, like random locations that they want to get the data from that specific location only. And then when we query the data from VA system, we have the LS beginning and end. We dissect it on our off-system rail, and we trying to get the intersection information from our off-system rail. Do you get it?
And let me send
No.
when let's send Adam the sample that you sent to me
I
for
have
this
the
report.
sample right here. Yeah.
The one that have lat long, and let's add 2 more columns from and to street. Basically, we want from LS system, from whatever we have in here, we want a street name instead of from and to. Right now, from and to is in LS measure. We want to convert from and to in LS measure into the street name. That's
but not for every single segment. Not for every single individual segment, but for combinations of segments.
Yes.
So my question is like, how do you know what combinations of segments that it is that we're talking about?
We query the list from VA system, and then VA gave me the list of the, where is begin and where's it end.
Maybe
okay, let me see that list.
Okay, I'll show you this list. So let's say this is all sampling location for all non-state highway samples. So I dissect it. That's why I have the geometry right here. But when I get the data from VA system, it's only like these column only, with no geometry. And then I dissect this information back to the rail, and this is what I get.
Well, actually, forget about dissect for a second. We have this. This came out of HPMS?
No.
Where did it come from?
Right here. This is what it come from, HPMS.
Okay. And the result of the dissect was accurate or inaccurate?
It's accurate. It dissect on the off-system rail.
Okay, good.
Mm-hmm.
So Adam, from here you see beginning point and end point. The first entry, 26 beginning point, 26.34 and 26.55. We want those in the street name, the cross street. If we give this to them, the beginning point, end point, they don't know what the heck where the section fall in.
Got it.
They want a street name so then they can pinpoint where they are and they give us the information.
Got it. This is starting to make sense now. Okay, I get it.
I'm sorry, this is kind of confusing.
Okay, so this is the input, and basically you want as output street name begin, street name end.
That's it. That's what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay, let me think here. Lots of ways to do this.
So what I did before is, before I tried to input the sampling location, I first work on the off-system route. I try to get all the intersection points for the off-system route first, and then I
Yeah.
dissect this one over it, and I overlay this one on it, and then I'm thinking if we have some kinds of spatial linear or something that it pin the point, begin and end point, and then we grab information from the intersection table that I created.
Yeah, that's one way.
Yeah, so that's what you see right here. The district 4 off system right here is the whole district 4 off system from public rail.
Yeah.
Yes, so I think we have to dissect the sampling location of the district 4
Hey, do
on it.
that. Why don't you go ahead and do that?
Okay, let's do this.
Hey, can I tell you a trick? Well, go ahead and finish making this connection, but before you do the dine seg,
Mhm.
um, do this. Can't just go ahead and cancel out of here. Um, go to Home and then Geo Workspace Coordinate System.
This one.
Yep, yep. Go to Units and Formats. Go to Distance under Type,
Type.
upper left.
Yep. Up.
Here.
Scroll down. Yeah. No type.
There you go. Set that to miles and set precision to 123 and measurement interpretation true. One more other setting I want to do before we leave. Geographic. See where it says geographic underneath distance? Sorry, go back to units and formats. So for type, go to geographic. And yeah, there it is. And go, instead of degrees, minutes, seconds, go to degrees. Set,
This one.
yeah, yep,
Degree.
yep, that's it. And then drop that down and get the highest amount of precision you can get. Okay, that's fine. And say, okay, that workflow, by the way, I've found it's really important to do that in any geo workspace that you do DynSeg in
Mhm.
order to get accurate results.
Okay.
Um, especially when you're dealing with a large geographical area. You might
Mhm.
want to save this geo workspace so it remembers all that.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good. Very good tip.
Yeah, so,
Okay.
sorry I didn't tell you guys about that sooner.
Mhm. Okay, let me put the district 4 sample in it. Okay.
Okay. So this is after you DynSegged it, right?
Yes,
This is the result of the DynSeg.
exactly. Or you
Okay.
want us to start from the beginning?
Oh, I don't care. It's fine.
Okay.
As long as they're
So
accurate.
we have only 436 sampling location in district 4.
Can you
So
change their color so I can see them?
okay. Let me turn this one off. So
All right.
this one. Do you see it? Thicker?
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can just zoom into one or something if we want to.
Okay.
Excellent.
So you see, one single segment, it go through a lot of
Yeah. Could you click
individual
on one
segments.
just so? Okay. Great. Thank you. Got it.
Mhm. So now we just want the begin point and end point intersection. That's it.
Yeah. Okay. Bring back that intersection layer real quick. And zoom in to the begin and end of that
Let me try to
bad boy.
find a small segment so we can see.
Yeah. Sure.
Oh no, not this.
That's all right.
Maybe this one. Okay. So like,
I know that neighborhood.
okay.
Okay. Is every
Okay.
single 2015 sample go? Are there any cases where there's not going to be a blue dot at the beginning or end
No,
of any one of those?
no, because when I dissect it on, there's a few records, very less though. Only few records can be dissected, and then I just throw it away. I
Okay.
just ignore totally those segments that cannot be dissected.
Well, but what I'm concerned about is that if you have a route that has an end point that
Mhm.
that doesn't intersect with another road.
Okay, let me see there.
Do you understand what I mean?
Yes. Um, I didn't keep those information. I don't know what it these mean. Like for example,
Or,
this case maybe.
um,
Oh,
no, that's
I
no.
understand why. Because this 6692 is include on and
Uh-huh.
off system, and I just query out the off system only. So that's why
Okay.
we narrowed down to 436.
Okay. Well, do you mind if I drive for a minute and I'm just
Yes,
gonna
please. Yeah.
look around
Yes, just
for
want to see whether there's any cases
anomalies?
where there's an end at the intersection.
Yeah, exactly.
I just
Actually, all right. I'm gonna go up here.
I think it's safe to assume that it ends at intersection. Oh, I see the one right here. I'm not sure if you see it on middle left. There's one small one
Middle
on
left.
middle left.
Ah,
Right
yeah.
there,
There
right
we
there,
go.
right there, right there.
Mm, I saw that.
There's a case.
Oh,
Well, well, we don't. It doesn't have to be exact. You know, we can certainly pick the whole segment.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Well, yeah.
but it
I'm not
the
sure we
program
want
does.
to.
But the program doesn't know.
What we want to do, we just get the output,
Oh, that's
and then
weird.
whatever give us an error, we can
Look at
go back
that.
and
Wonder why it's split like that.
yeah, because
Huh.
it's query from V8. So whatever V8 calls sampling location, we have to say that we have to call that sampling location.
Yeah. Okay. It's kind of messed up. But all right. Um. Oh darn! I keep on pressing the escape button like I usually do when I'm in GeoMedia. What that's doing is changing my go to meeting screen, and it throws me off. Sorry. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna expand this a little bit. So, all right. This is an example of a spot where we may have the kind of issues that we just talked about. We'll talk more about it. All right, I'm just thinking through how to best attack this problem. All right, the next thing I want to look at is the fact that I believe you get multiple points in any given location. Yep. So how do we know which point to choose? So in this case, we have two of them. And these are, do you know how to use, well, I'm using select set to query in order to I just want to see a data window of those two things.
Hey, Hip,
Yes, Queen.
look like this is step rewards you want to know. Like select the individual segment and it show the data window.
Yeah,
Oh.
what I said is select
Alright.
set to query. So I
Mhm.
selected
Mhm.
everything that was in my select set, and then what that literally did is created a query selection of these things. Um, Do you guys recall? All right, so if I look at this again,
Hey, Aaron, is that recording the hour
yeah,
section? Okay, good.
it is. So I'm gonna check. what I'm trying to do is make sure I understand the intersection point data sufficiently well, because I'm not certain I do. Okay, this is West 9th Street. Sonoma, SRO, West 9th Street. And Sonoma. Cross Street is also West 9th Street. That's a little bit confusing. West 8th Street. Oh no, one's Cross Street. In both cases, alright. I see. Okay, West 9th Street crosses West 8th Street, and West 8th Street crosses West 9th Street. So the event is on West 9th Street. So what we want to do is just say where the cross street is not equal to the route ID. Okay, this is what we're going to do. For every one of these events, we're going to create a functional attribute of the begin point of the event, and then another functional attribute for the end point of the event. And then we're going to correlate those respective begin and end points with the nearest intersection point that does not share the same route ID, well, cross street route ID, as the source event that the functional attribute came from. That's the sort of big picture approach here. And I guess I'll just get to work doing it. Probably make some mistakes along the way. Sound good?
You guys hear that noise?
Yeah, I do. Sounds like there's some mice rustling around. Okay, so we don't have to make measures, and we don't have to, we don't have to do anything. All right.
Hey,
so, all right,
Adam?
Yeah.
What I'm thinking is, how about this? We merge every single segment that have the same route ID in one segment that match with the sampling locations. So we can ignore those intersections in between. We just get the beginning in front, from and to. Since if they continuous running, they should be in the same route ID, isn't it?
I guess I'm not sure. You may be onto something, but I don't get it.
Try your method, see.
Okay. So actually, something we can do just to filter our results set is, let's not. Let's just keep this simple. All right. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is create some functional attributes. So for every red line, I'm going to create a dot. This is there. All right. I'm going to call this functional attribute FA. I'm going to call it point. And if we go to geometric operators, functions include start with start point. So start point of geometry. So because it's linear geometry, the point that we're talking about is going to be the start point of the linear geometry. Close. And I'm going to name this like I always name things. Functional attribute of no, that's not even right. D. What's this? I'm a little confused. Am I looking at the wrong thing?
Okay, so the D,
I want start. I want to get query for start and endpoints of this layer, which I guess is this, huh?
yes.
Okay. Sorry, my bad. So start point geometry there. FA point. So you should think of what I'm doing right now as essentially adding another column to the D4 2015 samples layer, and that additional column is another geometry column, and the geometry is just the start point location for the red lines. So if I say OK to that, you'll see now that there's a red point now at every at the beginning of every red line. Make sense?
Mhm.
And this is calculated on the fly. And let me also point out, darn it, pressed escape again, that if I unlocatable everything and double click on the point itself, you'll see it has the same attributes as this layer does. It's because it's literally a reprocessed version of that layer. It's the same thing. So what we're going to do, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to expand these. Say OK to that, and then bring them to the bottom, just so we can kind of make sure. All right. So this has a nice close blue point. That has a nice close blue point. Okay. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to save this workspace, all right? You want to name it? Whatever makes sense to you, Quinn?
Mhm. Okay.
Okay. Now what we're going to do is ask, you know what? Forget. You know what? I'm going to not even worry about these. Forget these. All we have to ask is, okay, what route touches this location
Mhm.
that is not this route?
Mhm.
That's all we have to ask. So, so let's do this. We're going to say there's this concept of spatial aggregation. Let's see how well this works. And aggregate two summary features in functional attributes of this. So this is the points from detail features in D4 2015 samples.
Which one is it? Public rail or samples?
So what we're saying here, and this is confusing. I'll concur, but basically, what we're saying here is we're going to take attributes from this
Mhm.
and give the attributes to this.
Okay.
Join attributes from here to there based on some spatial relationship.
Mhm.
Okay, and it's going to be a touches relationship. Let's at least start with that. There is an attribute consideration though, which is that we need to make it so that the route ID of the summary I'm gonna say I want to say does not match. Route ID full. That's not what we want. Just looking through all my options here. I'm changing my mind. Let's go ahead and use these. And you know what? Also on that score, let's just say our nearest to. So what this is going to do is account, by saying nearest, we're going to account for those that don't touch.
How about meet?
That won't work because, like, remember that example where the end of a given event, sample event, didn't touch a blue dot? It also doesn't meet it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You can ask, what's the nearest blue dot?
Mm-hmm.
So, all right, we're gonna now we can say, all right, where geometry, okay, where route ID equals route ID full. Why are there two? Let's see. Okay. And then I have to tell you that the dialog box looks a little weird in my GoToMeeting session. This should say something. It shouldn't say attribute aggregation here. What do you see, Quinn?
Output
right
something.
Here.
Yeah,
Output
that's
something?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that's what it should say when you're looking at it for real, whatever Quinn sees. Okay, so the last thing we have to do is say, show me the first cross street. We'll see how this goes. FA cross street, whatever. Okay. And aggregation. Okay. I'm just going to enlarge this guy. Okay, it's thinking. That was nice and fast. All right, so now I'm going to double click on this guy. All right, route ID. This is the original route ID, and the cross route ID is this. I think I got it right.
Look like it.
So if this is Sonoma, Santa Rosa, Diddy Ave, down here, let me turn this guy back on. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Would you drag the window to the little bit to the right so I can see how many records that it found? I just want to see how many records right here. Can I control the mouse?
Oh, I see. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
336, yeah.
Okay, so but right now we're only talking about the starts, and then we'll
Yes,
also look
yes,
at the
I know.
ends in a minute.
Mhm.
Let me get rid of this too. This is not relevant anymore.
Do we have any
So
cases that it come up with the error that it couldn't find any points around it?
sure, let's find out. Let's look at our queries. Actually, you know what? Let's save. I'm going to save the
Mhm.
geo workspace real quick. Okay, I just saved it. All right, look at our queries, aggregation, display, but we're going to look at it in a data window.
Hmm.
Uh, all right, this is old stuff that you've already queried
Yes.
out, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Uh, well, in every case, I think it's going to work because it's looking for something in every case.
Right.
It's looking for the nearest. It's not looking for what it touches. It's looking for the nearest. And I mean, the nearest could be a mile away, which maybe that's
Mhm.
a problem. But like, let's go look, see if we can find that one again that was an issue over here. See what it
Mhm.
did.
Yeah, right there.
Oh,
Mhm.
you know what? It won't work. Let me change it to endpoint. So instead of start point, I'm going to change this function to be endpoint. Do you guys understand functional attributes?
Mhm.
Okay. So again, the beauty of GeoMedia, all these other downstream queries are just going to magically,
Hmm.
okay. So now we're on endpoints. Let's look at this guy. And here, I'll turn this on too, just to kind of, so this says West 8th, West 9th. Let's see if it's what we want. Yeah,
Cool. That's cool. That's cool.
it's working. I'm feeling pretty good about this. So, okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to your actual feature class, your original D4 2015 samples, and I'm going to add 2 columns, right? One for begin landmark, one for end landmark. Because right now there's no place to actually store that data, even if we have it. So, have you done this before?
I think so.
Get a
Don't
text
really use
field.
it.
Basically, what we're doing is this is the same thing as going into design view of an access table
Okay. Mhm.
and just adding new columns to a table.
Mhm.
And I'm setting the length to 255 just to make sure we don't foolishly run out of. So now, if we look at the attributes for this, a data window, now we have these 2 new columns with no data in them.
Mhm.
So now we have a place to put that information that we're currently just querying with a spatial query. Okay, and I'm gonna let's see if those new columns made it through all the way to this aggregation query. Yep, that's good. So now it's just a matter of taking the data from here,
Mhm.
shoving it into the appropriate column over here, and then it's like actually written to disk. It's no longer queried information. It's written information.
Mhm.
So home. All right. What we're going to do, this is the same workflow as is in the SPE a few different times. Let's go back to start points, just because it's just good for my brain to start with start and then end with end. All right. And you guys remember how to do this with vector update attributes?
I think so.
Go for it.
I shouldn't say it.
You shouldn't have said anything.
Well, I guess we need our Bible. We need Bible, so we can.
Is it begin point?
Yeah, it was the begin landmark.
Right here.
Yeah.
Is it input something?
Yeah, press the expression button. That'll make it easier for you.
Okay. Should it get text? I mean first, right?
So all you
Create the
need is
point?
just the text from one of these input attributes.
Okay, so
And it's input FA CrossStreet. That's what we named the functional attribute.
she text, right?
There's no
The
function
third column.
we're gonna write.
The third column. The attribute column.
Oh.
Yeah.
The
All right,
attribute.
you were there. The expression, yeah, it was there.
Okay.
See the third column.
Oh.
Input F. Yeah. Just click on that. That's why.
Is that the what's the name of it? Just
FA underscore CrossStreet.
that's it, right?
Yep. And just say okay.
Okay. And just
All right.
apply.
So wait. Hold on. with
You have one more.
Update. So yeah. I mean, but do so. You'll well no. We'll do the end landmark later because right now it's only based on the begin point.
Okay.
But I just want to say, and I tried to make a point of this in the documentation. This is a very powerful tool, and I mean, especially if you're working in a large data set, you can really mess up your data with this tool if you're overwriting everything within a layer. So before you say apply, just take a breath and look at what you're doing, make sure you understand it, and then you're good. I can say with some confidence that
Okay. I just want to make sure it's right on the right column that begin landmark. So,
yeah, make sure what you're doing, you're applying to the right layer, that you understand what's going on. And then if you say apply, then it's going to go ahead and overwrite everything within that begin landmarks column within that layer. I also tend to uncheck that enable, undo, and logging button. What that's doing, just so you know, it makes it go faster, but it also prevents you from pressing the back button to undo what you're doing.
Okay.
So my practice is I prefer the performance, and yeah, anyhow you get it. So go ahead and say apply. Looks like it worked. It says it's still writing updates to the database. Okay, great, you're done. Update complete. So at this point, maybe I'll stop picking on Quinn and pick on Hip. Hip, what's the next thing that needs to happen?
Yes.
So
okay,
what's the next step here?
Oh, so don't we just do the end landmark?
Yep. So the next step, but before we can populate end landmark with FA cross street, what do we have to do?
I was supposed to. This table is it in the table already?
Let's check.
Do we have to output it before we do anything?
No.
Let's copy over.
So we've copied it over, so we're good there. But the problem is these cross streets are all cross streets at the begin locations of each of those samples.
Oh, so we have to generate another one for the end cross street?
Yeah.
Or is that what?
That's right. So what's the easiest way to do that?
Isn't it just the street name of the intersection? Copy it over.
All right. So, Aaron? No. All right.
Yeah.
The thing you need to do at this point is update. Yeah, I hear you.
I thought we have to change the start to end function, and downstream work will change, and then we do the same step that Quinn just did.
That's it. That's exactly right. So right now we're just looking at Aaron just hit the nail on the head. So right now we're looking at the start point of every section of every one of those sample events. But now what we need to do is look at the endpoint and the nearest intersection for each one of the sample events. So let's change that function to be endpoint instead of start point. You know how to do that?
Yeah. Looks like we just do query.
Yep.
And then attribute. No.
So this is the wrong query.
Oops. Which one is it?
Functional attribute.
Oh. Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
There you go. So now you see all those dots now are at the end points of the samples, not instead of at the begin points.
Hey, Adam.
Yeah.
Adam, a question. Can we create endpoint and beginning point, endpoint at the same time, and then we do the link at the same time instead of
it's possible. Yeah, it's totally possible to do. Do you want me to show you how?
I mean, which way is better? Right now,
I prefer this way.
You want to do one, and then you finish the endpoint, beginning point, and then you go back, change the endpoint, and you do a link again.
Yeah, both ways are perfectly valid.
Oh, okay.
So I think for the purpose of teaching you guys, I felt like this was a better way to go. But whatever.
Yeah, I think it's
I prefer this way. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it less time every single day?
Let me just show you, just so you know. I mean, it's totally. We could have done this. We could have done this. We could have said, cancel. All right. Instead of saying look at the properties of this, I can say new.
It's going to create more columns, right?
Yeah, that's right. It's going to create more functional attribute columns. I mean, this could be FA. I'm just going to call it junk. And then maybe we can have yet another that's I don't know, ID plus 10. You see what's going on here? You can add as many of these as you want. And this one, by the way, is ID plus 10, which means it's an integer. It's not a geometry. anyhow, I hopefully that's helpful. I'm gonna delete all these now. Go back to our regularly scheduled workflow. A lot of the workspaces I set up for you for the SPE have tons of functional attributes running. So
right now it's riding the CrossStreet to the District 4 public routes, not the sample, not to the sample table.
It's on the sample table.
It is writing it to it did write it to the sample table.
Can you right click on the sample table?
Yeah, we just did.
Okay.
We added a couple of columns for it to write to.
Okay.
And then we wrote to it.
Well, earlier I saw the record is 600 no 6,000 or something.
Oh no, because it's include on and off system. So what we're looking at right now is only off system. I supposed to filter them out before I do it, but I forgot. So basically it's there, but we can just query them later.
Okay. So the District 4 2015 samples, it has 436 records.
For off system only.
For off system, that's the one that we're using.
Yes.
That's the one that the CrossStreet write to. We write that CrossStreet to that one. Hey, can you right click on that one? Can you right click on that?
To be clear, there's actually 6,000 records in that table.
Yes.
But only 400 and some odd actually have geometry.
Okay. You see right here, there's a lot of on system. You see it? Yeah. So.
Okay. Got it. Because.
Okay.
So okay, go ahead. So now that we've got our stuff, go ahead and do an update attributes to the end landmark. Yeah.
Earlier you showed like a table like with only 3 records for this segment. How did you do it? Did you click on this? Select tool and click on this one?
So yeah, here, let me show you.
Okay.
I did a couple things. So I selected what I want to be able to select. In this case, it was, well, here. Here, I'm just going to select a few. So the only thing, I'm making it right now, so the only thing I can select are underlying public routes. And I'm going to just select these ones. All right. And then I said select set to query. And that's just a one-click way to make everything that's currently green from my selection set into a query. And it's going to show them to me in a data window.
Okay.
There they are.
I see.
That's it. That's all there is to it.
Okay. Because I want to see the cross street of that segment.
Okay, so let's go ahead and finish the workflow now.
Okay. Vector update. This one, right?
Yep.
And landmark. Okay.
All right, there you go.
What? Can I see this
Like
segment on the map?
Yeah. So I would say, you know what? Now the aggregation query is no longer really all that relevant because you've moved your aggregation attributes from the virtual column into
Mhm.
written columns. So
Mhm.
if we look now at straight at your 2015 samples,
Mhm.
If you just double click on one record, oh, what? Start writing?
well, don't remember this has a bunch of records we don't care about
Oh,
that we can't even see on the map.
right.
There you go.
Can we? That's,
Adam, is there any way we click on one record and then it show geometry in this one? Right, click on the data window on one record and then the segment highlight.
I think you double
Yeah, let me
click.
show you. So basically I'm selecting it there.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm selecting the map window and going to fit select set.
Mm.
Oh, okay.
If you double click on that record,
No, I
No,
don't.
I didn't double click on anything. I didn't double click. It's not like ArcMap. It doesn't work quite the same way. Although it doesn't work that way in
Thank you,
ArcMap
Adam.
either. Oh, how funny. Look at the one we chose.
Coincidence, huh? That's a good one.
Oh wow.
Yeah, apparently so.
Same one.
Yeah. We had like a 1 in 432 chance of that. 140.
Should buy lottery tonight.
Yeah, seriously. Anyhow, I mean, I don't know. Let's choose another one just for kicks here. Go. First, you have to activate the map window, and then go fit to select set. And I don't know. I mean, so the begin is Cypress Way. Ooh, and the end is Cypress Way. That's not reassuring.
You always pick on the right one, Adam.
Well, you know what? I'm seeing that.
Ugly one. And not only that, there's more. The one
Yeah.
right above it. The one right above it.
Oh, Rosa and Rosa.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I'm liking this. I'm not sure I'm liking this. We may have not gotten what we wanted. So let's see what road this is. The begin should be Hohen. And the end should be Cypress Way.
Mhm. That's right. Do you think
There's
because
something
of
wrong
we do
here.
the earlier when we do the functional attribute, because we make a mistake right there when we override it? No, because other records is right. Because other records.
I don't know.
Yeah. How
I think we
about the
made
bottom
some
bit here?
mistake.
What is it right here?
Oh, well, that's good. Redo it. That's okay.
It doesn't show. Oh, you see this?
That is Cypress Way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is like Huan. Let's try
Yeah.
this segment. See if it's the same.
Oh yeah. Huh.
This one, right? Let's try this one.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it? Rosa. Oh, you see this one? Actually, the same.
Yeah,
street.
it does begin and end at the same
Okay,
street.
I think it's correct. That's how it is. Good.
Yeah, Adam.
Good.
Now you're starting to see the kinds of little idiosyncrasies that the GIC had to deal with all the time as they were building this stuff.
Yeah. Okay. I think I should output this one. Before doing output, I do the query. Frozen.
So you're going to query out the features that don't have a geometry? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Or that? Okay.
It's frozen.
Responding.
Hey, Aaron, you guys have any other questions?
No, that's it for me.
I mean, that's very helpful.
That's very helpful one. Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, I mean, I think the real lesson here was the use of functional attributes to create a derived start or endpoint geometry. You're going to do that all the time. And then the second thing was the way that aggregation works. It's or the spatial aggregation is super helpful. It's basically how you transfer attributes from one feature to another through a spatial relationship. And if you use it a lot, you'll get real good at it. Hey, as long as I have you on the line, there's one other just kind of detail in the Oracle LRS GIS database that I wanted to make you guys aware of.
Yeah, go ahead, Adam.
So I've been working with the GIS unit, right, to help them with things. And one of the things that they asked is that I change the name of the column of route ID full. So you're going to see if you connect to that database again that the name of the column is now called LRS key, LRS_key. Anyhow, I wanted you to just to be aware that that's what it is now, and that change will also float through in your in the routes catalog database view.
Okay.
So anyhow, I just want you guys to know that.
So we will have the final version in the end of this month, right?
I don't know. I can't. I mean, that's completely out of my hands.
Okay.
You mean you change the catalog, HPMS catalog?
Yeah, the HPMS routes catalog view. I changed that so that instead of saying route ID full, it says LRS key.
It's just a column header, but the route ID should be the same, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, if that change in your the file that you create for the section engine thing would be changed as well?
Not really, because the sections processing engine stuff is offline of Oracle.
Yeah.
So we will be using the route.
Again?
We'll be using the route.
Yeah, the data hasn't changed. Just the name of the column changed in Oracle. That's all.
Just the name of the column. Yeah.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. Well, cool. Good work, guys. Sure we'll talk again soon, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to collect all the data, and as soon as we have the data, we might ask you to help us to go through the I think the first workflow, the one that use an assets and clean up all the overlap and stuff like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep, okay. Thank you very much, Adam.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care, guys.
Thank you.
So you're gonna upload this video and send us the link as soon as possible, right?
That's right.
Yep. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. Bye-bye.